Hey, my name's Riv and I make videos on music production. Today I want to talk about 5 top tips for the Ableton Push 3. Let's jump in. Tip number 1, recording into an arrangement. Okay, so this first one really leans into the hybrid nature of the Push 3, and in my opinion that's what makes Push so great, is that we have the ability to switch seamlessly between the DAW and our Push. Okay, so if we want to record our set into an arrangement, we just have to hold Shift and hit record, alright? So when we launch our music, we change different things. So once we hit save, that saves the recording that we just made into the arrangement, and even though we can't hear it, it's still in there. So when we go over to live and we click our Push, we head to our projects, all right, and we open up our file, what we can see is that it's in the arrangement view. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but I think it's pretty cool. You can perform your set exactly how it sounds in your ears and then just have a copy of that in case you want to use that later. So I think that's really helpful if you enjoy mixing or live performing with the Push when you're making your songs. Tip number 2, reordering your devices. One of the nicest quality of life aspects of the Push is reordering our devices. This allows us to audition different orders and change what we have coming first in the effects chain, which can really change and manipulate a sound depending on what type of effects you like to use. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to hold our upper display button and we're just going to move our jog wheel. Alright, and it just moves our effect over. That allows us to just play with the order. So yeah, have a go. Mess around with the orders of your FX chains when you're performing. Tip number 3, select on launch. So this is a really helpful feature that was tacked on in an update a while ago. Select on launch just shows the information from the clip that we've just selected or launched. And so that can be really frustrating when we're trying to launch things, but also tweak parameters at the same time in a live performance aspect. I want to show you what I mean here. So the way select on launch works is when I'm playing my scene like this, say I'm riding the filter cutoff and I want to launch this clip here, it immediately just takes me to the device's screen as soon as this clip launches, which if I was riding this filter cutoff, it leaves me in a really tricky place in the live performance aspect. So if we go to our settings, it's over here in preferences. You can see it here, select on launch. If we turn that off, all right, and we do the same thing, we ride that filter cutoff, all right. Just makes our life a whole lot easier when we're live performing with different macros. Pretty cool. Tip number 4, mapping macros. Mapping macros is made really easy on Push, and what it allows us to do is choose specific parameters to be playable on the overview when we select our device. The 8 knobs that sit at the top of our Push are able to be mapped to certain parameters in our audio devices that we can then tweak on the fly when we select our clip. So the way our macros work is we've got these 8 knobs up the top here, and they correspond to the 8 different macros that we can map, all right? For example, on this drum track here, we've got filter cutoff, some delay, some overdrive, so we have all of these different parameters that we can pre-select that pertain to each clip. We get 8 of them that we can choose from the different audio devices here, all right? So if we want to do that, I'll head to a track that doesn't have a group yet, all right? What we want to do is we want to hold shift and we want to select up here the different audio devices, and we want to select group, all right? So now we can see to map a macro, touch a parameter and press map, all right? So we can go across to our parameters, and let's just say I want to map the inversion, all right? I hold that, just touch it, and I select map. Now I can touch my macro, and you can see that my inversion is on this first macro, all right? So I'll hit done, and that locks invert was mapped to macro 1, all right? I might go over here to my chorus ensemble, and I might just select dry wet, map that to macro 2. Pretty sweet. So you can do that with all of these different parameters, all right? Let's say, let's get some frequency here going. All right, and so when we hit play, all right, if we go back to our device, we can see our macros here now. We can set up some pretty complex macro mapping, and I just think it's a really amazing feature that we have here is just the ability to page into it and see these 8 macros in front of us and tweak and twist and play around. Tip number 5, automation. This might be obvious to some and something that others are oblivious to. The fact that we can bake in automation into our clips is really awesome and a pretty slept on feature, if I'm going to be honest. It goes a lot deeper than just hitting record and twisting knobs as well, and I want to show that in some ways here. Let's say I want to automate just some things in my macros here in my drums. I'm going to head over to my note mode and I'm going to stay in this layout, all right? All right. So the steps which I want to automate, all right, I'm going to just hold down. So let's say I want to roll this filter down. And we can see that little dot that sits on our macro. That means that it's got automation on it, all right? And we can do that for pretty much any macro we want. So if I want to add some delay in some different parts, we can basically parameter lock. I'll add a little saturation here. So yeah, pretty sweet. Having the ability to just change automation and bake that into the sequencer layout or into our clip data in general is just really awesome. And I know it's probably obvious to a lot of people, but I think there are a lot of really cool use cases you can find in the way that they implemented this possibility in Push. So there you go. There's my 5 top tips for the Ableton Push 3. What are some tips that you find on the Push 3? I want to hear about them, so share them in the comments below. Let everybody hear them. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I really appreciate all the comments and the likes, the subscribers. Thank you so much, and until next time, have a good one.